Hey guys, welcome back to my channel at natassiar1. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about 5 tips on how to rebuild your self-esteem after extreme weight loss. I lost 50 kgs in 6 months, so it's been quite a process and a journey for me. I've maintained it over 20 years. I've had highs and lows, but it's been quite a process to rebuild your self-esteem from scratch and boost your self-confidence levels when you're starting from ground zero. So in today's video, I'm going to share all of the tips and learnings that I've had on my journey, and I hope it will help you too. So if you like today's content, click the subscribe, like, and comment. Let me know what tips you've used in your personal life. Maybe you haven't lost weight. Maybe you've gone through a terrible breakup, or you've gone through a very transformative and traumatic experience, and you've used a tip in your life to actually help you rebuild your confidence and get your self-esteem back. So let's begin. I think tip number 1 is realize that self-esteem is from within. No one can give it to you and no one can take it away. So I wish I had known that earlier in my life. You have the ability to really build your confidence, and you should protect it with your life. I protect it like my heart. I'm very territorial, I'm very protective. I'm not going to allow anyone just to come in and let their negative words or comments break me down. So I think tip number 1 is so critical, that you need to protect your self-esteem at all costs. Number 2, the other tip that I've learned is learn to accept and forgive yourself. You know, a lot of the times we hold ourselves to unrealistic standards, and we're quite harsh on ourselves. Sometimes, they say we are our worst critic in life. And as an overachiever, I certainly struggle with that. I would definitely say, forgive yourself for mistakes that you've made and failures that you've made in your life. Don't be so cruel to yourself, and, be a little bit more loving and gentle towards yourself. There's another video I have on my channel where I say, if you can't love yourself, you can't love anyone else. So it begins with you. Your self-esteem, your self-love, your self-worth, it all begins from within. The other tip I'd like to talk about is every day do something for yourself. So do something that makes you feel good. For example, I love dancing. So every day I try to dance as much as possible, or I go for a walk, or I do Thai bowl. I love my tea. I'll probably have too much of tea, being Indian. I probably have about 4 to 5 cups on a bad day. So, be good to yourself. Do something that makes you happy. I love bubble baths. So I know it's TMI, but a nice bubble bath every day with a little bit of essential oil, some lavender oil, peppermint oil, chamomile, or go for a massage to make you feel good and wake up, the deadness within. So I definitely believe find out or write down the things that make you happy and stick to it from a routine perspective. Watch your confidence level soar. Tip number 4. This is probably the hardest one. Surround yourself with positive people. And in order to do that, it means you really need to dig deep within the friendships that you have and the people around you, whether it's family, it's friends. And if you identify toxic people, then you have to let them go. And one of the hardest things I've struggled with is letting toxic people, toxic friends and family out of my life. I had to completely remove them and change my whole environment, because you cannot be a positive person in a negative environment. Eventually that negativity will influence your decisions and your mental well-being. So surround yourself with people who love you, who believe in you, but also people who are going to call you out on your bullshit when you are stepping out of line, and you need to be held accountable. So you don't surround yourself with fake ass people, or people telling you what you want to hear. So that's also the the negative or dangerous side of it, is surround yourself with people who are genuine, authentic, and true to your friendship, and genuinely love you. Tip number 5. positive affirmations. So, they say it all starts in your mind, that what your mind believes, your heart believes, your body will follow. And I truly believe that your mind, your heart, your spirit, and your body need to be in tune with itself, needs to be in sync. So if your mind is telling you that you're a loser every day, or that you're a failure, you're never going to achieve anything in life. So you gotta change that mindset. You gotta change what you believe. And it's hard. It's hard. All of these tips are difficult. No one wants to get rid of friends. No one wants to, maybe it's a loved one that you need to distance yourself from. No one wants to do that. It is difficult. But for your own sanity and for your own self-worth, self-esteem, you have to do this. A lot of people ask me, well, do you do all 5 tips at the same time? No, change is gradual. You're not going to make the changes immediately. Start with one that you're most comfortable with. Maybe starting with yourself. I think that's a healthy way to approach this. Start with loving yourself. Start with being kinder to yourself. As I mentioned before, we can be quite difficult and tough with ourselves and hold ourselves to such high standards that are just not attainable. You want to lose 50 kgs in a week, or you want to look like J-Lo when you don't. And you're never going to look like J-Lo. Like, that is something you need to accept. But if you're around people who are lying to you and saying, yeah, you kind of look like J-Lo, then honestly, dude, you need to reassess what kind of friends are you keeping, or what kind of people are around you. I've had difficult discussions with my loved ones who are like, no. They tell me things maybe necessarily at times I don't want to hear. But guess what? That's what makes them my loved ones. That's what makes them my core, my circle, and make sure I preserve my self-esteem and confidence. So guys, this is a short video. I'm doing a series on a lot of these topics that are uncomfortable and difficult to talk about, but most importantly, it's what I've personally been through in my journey. So again, if you like today's topic, subscribe to my channel, like, comment, let me know your thoughts. Until next time, guys, thanks for tuning in.